loud school or a blab school, because as every good educator knows, the louder you say your lessons, the faster it goes into your ears and into your brain, and you'll get a much better education. Now, the year is 1840, and we don't have a lot of textbooks in this part of Indiana. So you'll notice on my desk over here, I have several books, and every day when I come to school, my job is to prepare the lesson and put it on the board for us, and then we'll recite together as a class. Now, as we recite, we do it as loudly as possible, and when we're doing this, keep in mind that we could have as many as 5 or 6 lessons going on at the same time. And later on in our lesson, we'll do that for you. We'll have 2. All right, the first thing I want to tell you is my name is Miss Vanderpool. That is because in 1840 it is very, very disrespectful, almost non-coherent that a married woman would stand in front of you as a teacher. That would be very, very wrong. So I am Miss Vanderpool, and I would also like to tell you that in 1840 the marrying age is about 16 years old, and some of you look like you're getting pretty close to that. So I want to tell you right off in our lesson that we'll be calling on some of the young men in our audience, because your call will be very impressed if you can find a man at school who can cipher and has a good set of muscles, all right? But, however, if you find yourself going on 16, 17, and you don't want to be an old maid, you can always become a school marm. That's very respectful.
Our journey through the Door Village history of time is continuing. I have Dan Lute with me, and please tell us where you're from originally.
Well, I'm originally from Michigan City, but what we do is try to recreate the atmosphere of 1832 Door Village. This was the first permanent settlement in this part of LaPorte County. As many of you may know, LaPorte is French for the door, and where this place is right now is where many Indian trails met. And it was a common meeting place for traders, for Indians, for fur trappers, and for the military to come through. These were common trails that went all the way up to Chicago.
Dan, you have a lot of knowledge of that. What part of the history do you like studying?
Well, actually, I really like studying the history of just the common everyday guy. Not the bourgeois who ran the fur trade or anything like that, but just being a common everyday guy on the frontier, and that's what we tried to recreate.
And how many years have you been involved with doing these displays?
Oh, about 20 years now.
Is that right? And where are some of the other cities and states that you've traveled to do this?
Well, in 2 weeks, we'll be down at Rochester, Indiana, at Fulton County Historical Society for the Trail Courage Festival. And that's a pretty big one, and it's worth seeing. We go throughout the Midwestern states and try to present to students and teachers and everybody else what we do.
And please show me the rifle that you have here.
Well, this is a rifle that I made.
Is that right?
Yes. It's a 69 caliber flintlock. I use it mostly for squirrel and deer, and it's very common what was used on the frontier.
All right, maybe we can hold it up a long ways and we can just get an idea. And how many, that's one shot, you have to reload and everything.
Oh yes, muzzle loading. Well, in fact, most of what we do is bordered around muzzle loading rifles. So you have to put your shot in, ram it down, et cetera, et cetera. And these rifles were common up to the Civil War era.
And Dan, we have a little camp here. You have your table, you have a lantern and a tent. What else do you have here, accessories?
Well, actually, this is basically how we live most of the summer. This is our home. We have our bed and we have our things. What we want to do is show that people that were moving through the frontier brought everything with them that we would need to just stay the night. And that's what we have.
Excellent. Dan, thanks for the visit. You have a nice looking display there. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
47 Oldsmobile, model 78, 4-door sedan. Car has a flathead straight 8 motor, and it's owned by Clarence Morris. We have a 1926 Ford Model T. It's a 4-cylinder, 4-door sedan, owned by John Dorothy Fagerstrom Public Court. And next up, we have the car that came out 1 year later than the previous one. Is the 1927 Ford Model T, 2-door sedan. It's owned by Bill Woodkey from Westville, Indiana. Next car up is the 1931 Ford Model A.
We're seeing some footage now of the antique car show that they're having here at the Door Village. They've got approximately 20 some odd, 30 vehicles, and a description is given of each vehicle as they go by.
Next we have a 1915 4-wheeler. Car is an original condition spring car. It is owned by John Kennedy of the Ford, and it is also our third place winner.
We're visiting with more animals here at Door Village at the Door Village Festival. Jerry Cosgray is with me now, and you're from Wells Center?
Royal.
Royal Center, I apologize. Royal Center, and that's near Logansport?
Yes, we're about 10 miles north on US 35.
And please tell us what you have here.
Well, we've got a bunch of miniature donkeys. This is my pride and joy here in front of me. That's Nicodemus.
Nicodemus.
And Nicodemus has done it all. He's probably one of the best known jacks maybe in North America. I think he's probably one of the top 3 in North America. He was national champion last year. He's been reserve national champion twice. He owns the world's record that's ever been jumped by a miniature in coon jumping.
Wow.
He's 34.5 inches tall. He jumped 45 from a standing jump, which isn't easy. Try it.
And we'll try to, they have the big tractor display going on now, a lot of tractors in the background. How old is Nicodemus?
Nicodemus is 9 years old.
9?
Yes.
I'm sorry, can we get him to lift his head up, maybe look at the camera? I thought I had you do that. Hi, Nicodemus. Hi, fella. How are you? Okay, please continue.
Nicodemus is in the National Mule and Donkey Versatility Hall of Fame. His offspring is going to come close to putting him in as a premier sire this year. Probably next year, if the good Lord lets me continue, he will become a premier driving champion in the Mule and Donkey Association. And to accomplish all that in 10 years of age is really quite an accomplishment.
You have had quite a life. Is he friendly, docile to people, or doesn't he like people? Okay.
Yes.
Hey, how are you? He's
very friendly.
Boy, all these accomplishments. He's seen a few things, hasn't he?
He's seen a lot of things. We were in about 12 or 13 shows last year. 5 of those was state fairs. We was the national show. We was in Houston, Texas, to the Fat Stock Show. And of those 14, either him or his offspring was champion or high point at all but 2. And we think that's a pretty good record.
And tell me the little white one that's standing right here.
This little guy is 3 months old, and he's out of our little spotted jack that was national champion, junior champion in '94. We think he's kind of made halfway right. His mother is a Nicodemus daughter standing over here. We have a Nicodemus colt over here that is a week old. I don't know if you're going to be able to get a shot of that. Maybe
see him standing there. That's good.
We've got about 70 headed donkeys running around down there. So, you know, if people want to spend a little time, just come and be friendly. We like to have people stop in, and we like to show people our donkeys. We've got all colors. We've got spots, grays, blacks, browns, sorrels, you name it, we've got it.
Thank you. Well, Jerry, it's nice to see Nicodemus. He's an attractive-looking miniature donkey, and I'm glad to hear he's had quite an exciting, eventful life. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
very complicated. You know, baseball is the American sport, the American pastime, but it's the only sport in the world where the defensive team has the ball at all times. The only sport in the world. Then this is into the players on the Cleveland team. It says who was on first, what was on second, and Ivan was on third.
I don't like this part.
Look at the horses. Look at the little horses.
Get around, one more step.
Oh, okay. Good boy.
Thank you.